Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Fancy Grace, your sweeter but still sassy cousin to former prosecutor Nancy Grace from a parallel dimension, here to bring you the latest on the Brian Kohberger trial. Now let's dive into the murky waters of justice, where the presumption of innocence seems to be sinking faster than a lead balloon. If you are one of the 40,000 people that subscribes to the Drunken Chicken Show, then you will recognize this next focus of my report, because I would like to touch upon how some of us have been some real flip-floppin kind of people. And maybe we could tone down our attitude and our condescendingness towards people with a different opinion, because we surely seem to have a different opinion not very long ago, didn't we, Daniel? Roll it.
Love is blind. You have these people that literally think that Brian Kohberger is going to be found innocent. He's going to walk out of there, walk into their bedroom, tickle their butthole, and tell them goodnight stories.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Tickling buttholes, Daniel? I mean, really? That's disgusting and an insult to everyone that is a proponent for justice, because I should have to remind you, we are all supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Anyway, you give him 40,000 subscribers.
It's me, Chris McDonough. Hi, Daniel. Wait.
This broadcast for just a slight pause. Be right back. Christopher McDonough, if you do not stop interrupting my broadcast, I will come unglued on you. Do you hear me, sir? Now, for that, I am going to play some of your videos from a year ago. You better get your attitude right. You be patient and get in line, or go back to Nancy's. Okay, thank you. We'll return to our regular broadcast.
Thank you for letting me just say, I really like the drunken chicken.
Your family. But a guy who comes out of the army, never worked a murder in his life. They hadn't had a homicide in 7 years in that community. And they handed him the largest homicide in the United States at that time. Okay? And say, okay, you'll make it happen. Okay? And I saw him walking out of the building, carrying boxes, wearing rubber gloves. And I thought to myself, dear Lord, what's going to happen here ultimately in the long run? Now, I believe also, an optimist on the other side of the coin, that they have all that they're going to need to put this guy away. Okay, I'm very optimistic about that. But the problem is, right now, your families and Shannon, your clients are suffering. I'm sorry about it. It happens.
At the Drunken Chicken Show, it seems opinions flow as freely as the drinks. 1 year ago, Daniel was singing a different tune about this case. Being that I am a better crime reporter than my cousin Nancy, I have brought forth evidence from the Fancy Grace Vault O experts. To introduce this next video clip, I will have an esteemed panel guest. one that probably does not even need my introduction because she is the most well known forensic cashier from the Target and a personal friend to the show, Franny. Franny, fill us in on what's going on with this drunken chicken. Go.
Hello again, old friend. It's great to see you, Fancy. I am still working at the Target as a forensic cashier, and I have been doing more research. Turns out that they were not telling the truth about the pinging off of cell towers, or the pinging of Wi-Fi's, or the stalking. They were told to us and then taken away by Bill Thompson. The video that you asked me to review today and introduce is indeed of the drunken chicken, Daniel. And whom he is interviewing with is none other than YouTube controversial commentator JB Gunner. Mr. Gunner has an extensive arrest record and does love to drink, but some of his critics say that he is bigoted or perhaps racist and has domestic violence issues. I would never say those things. That's just what I heard. But personally, I have to say, Mr. Gunner is funny. You can't say he's not. He's like a modern day Martin Downey Jr. You just can't look away. And JB is consistent and knowledgeable with his topics of discussion, especially his political channel. So, you never cease to amaze me, Mr. Gunner. I guess we each have our own opinions and we're entitled to them, sir. So you'll have no issue with us. But let's take a trip down memory lane where Mr. Gunner interviewed Daniel, the drunken chicken. And boy, not the Daniel you see today. Take a look. Thanks, Fancy.
The fact
Good
that
to
we
see you,
all do
honey.
come from two different sides of this. So I'm very much so an innocent until proven guilty guy. I'm a constitutionalist. I believe in that. Where I assume you would probably be pro law. I'm not saying law enforcement isn't pro Constitution, but I would assume like are you more liable? Are you more likely to believe the affidavits and everything the courts are saying, or are you skeptical on this as well?
Initially, when the first stuff comes out, I tend to go along and side with the law enforcement side of it. But as things come out, I'm very open to change my mind. And I follow the evidence. If there's evidence that proves in one direction or not, then that's where I follow. So I'm very evidentiary based. And when it comes to this case, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make any sense. You know, the direction of travel that Kohberger was happening to come into, and even when he was seen, by the gas station, that's coming from east to west when he was in Pullman, supposed to be coming west to east. You have the time, the phone pings. He's pinged at his house at 2:45, but at 2:47, he's seen on Nevada Street 2 miles away, and so he would have had to have traveled 60 miles an hour uninterrupted to have gotten there. You look at the fact that the phone pings, even in the probable cause affidavit, it speaks about that he connected to a tower in Idaho and wasn't there on that day on the 14th. You talk about the fact that he turns his phone off. Well, the probable cause affidavit shows the following day he did something very similar. Without coordinating that evidence with anything like finding a weapon, finding clothes, finding something that puts him in that area, all it does to me is show a pattern, and a pattern that he goes on drives and turns his phone off. So I think that's more in favor of him than it is the prosecution.
So Daniel claimed he believed everything he said because he followed the evidence. Until one day, like a magic spell, an email or a phone call would confuse the drunken chicken. He felt such strong feelings of empathy that it caused him to lose touch with his senses. Daniel forgot how the times didn't match up. The directions of travel were wrong, and low-quality video was randomly obtained from sources. Some important footage was not even requested by the unmethodical canvass the officials conducted. Sadly, not completed in a timely manner, some video was lost forever. This, too, was no longer important to the drunken chicken. He could no longer separate emotion from the analysis. The empathy was warranted, but the analysis of the information was not the cause of the painful emotions. Those feelings will only dull slightly with time. It was not Daniel's intention to lose his investigative intuitions. He was torn between acknowledging errors in investigation and respecting the loss and the pain that he was truly empathetic toward and was shared by a grieving, pained heart of another. No one wants to dismiss that pain. Unfortunately, it does no one any good to have empathy if the result is that justice is not served. A rush in conclusion, a disregard of rules, a shadow of doubts and lies swirling chaotically can only cause the pain to linger, the blind rage to feed the root cause of the entire case: evil. Evil wants the hearts of men to be blinded, to run in chaos. It wants division amongst the people. It wants to place blinders on the seekers of justice. Evil wants tunneled vision so strong that it will blind the people into serving up another soul for its hunger. So I ask you all, are you sure? Are you 100% sure before a trial with truth and dignity and honor has occurred? Are you ready to serve the soul of Brian Christopher Kohberger to that evil? Perhaps as a society of empathetic, caring, and supportive people, we should first demand that no shortcuts are taken. Demand that all the evidence be admitted. Demand that mistakes be confessed and rectified when possible. Demand that the accused be allowed to defend themselves as they see fit. Let it all be admitted and seen. Why not? Are you not intelligent enough to sort through the information? Are you so righteous that you doubt the ability of anyone other than yourself of being capable of doing the same? Are you okay with lies? Manipulation of DNA? A gift from the creator of mankind, being diminished in importance and uniqueness, transformed to a computer program simulation obtained by nefarious means by a G-man that has no problem stealing it from the people, toying with the results in order to kill a man. Is that not a sign that you are filled with the evil that pushes and drives for what it wants as fast as it can get you to deliver? Wake up, slow down, and think. Daniel, Bill Thompson, Moscow Police Department, Ashley Jennings, this is not about your errors. This is your opportunity to do the right thing. Be Atticus Finch. You honor the dead by telling their story, no matter what the story is. Anyone that thinks they are any less loved, respected, or held in high regard because of possible life choices can remember they were owed their time to grow, change, fall, and rise. So do not stand in judgment as you do of Brian Kohberger, because you could be wrong. And the finger you point always has three pointing back at you. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for listening. Now back to Daniel's thoughts from May 18th, 2023.
Search warrant in his apartment complex revealed nothing. when it comes to the blood on his bed, I'm fairly positive that that's possibly bloody nose. And the reason being is if he was that bloody and full of blood, why isn't there blood on the carpet leading up to the bed, on the mattress, on the sheet? It's just on the mattress cover. And on
Remember the image we saw of him when he came to court? Remember how it looked like he had cut himself shaving? Maybe he does that shit on a regular. Maybe he's just bad at shaving, you know what I mean?
That's quite possible. That is quite possible. And so when it comes to Kohberger, like I said, there's a lot of information. I don't like coincidences in any aspect. And then you have the prosecutor or the defense trying to subpoena Bethany Funk for explicatory evidence, and then you also have the following day, them asking for requests for more discovery, and then also the Giglio thing comes up. I don't like the timing and all that shit. And so to me, that all kind of brings up the possibility of something nefarious occurring here.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know. I don't think.
What the hell? Looks like you were quite the pro-burger, Daniel. Does Bill Thompson know about this? I don't know that I can watch your show, chicken hypocrite. Oh.
Thank you for having me, Fancy. Yes, I am a member of the Justice League. I do know a thing or two about justice. What I don't like about this chicken is that he constantly says, what these folks don't understand, what these people aren't getting, what you can't understand and grasp. Like he's not one of the people. Thinking isn't your strong suit, you drunken chicken. Maybe you shouldn't try to condescend to everyone, and maybe people might listen a little better. But you're very arrogant, and you would never be on the Justice League, because you, sir, are guano. Do better. We're watching you.
That's 100% right, Nancy. Fancy, sorry. I have never examined Brian Kohberger, but I can tell you, in his sick, demented brain, he has been planning this his entire life, waiting for this opportunity. And I know he's done it before, probably 100 times. They just don't know yet. And absolutely, he did it. I mean, there's touch DNA on the knife sheath. I don't care that it could have fallen. I don't care that it could have been swiped on there. That would never happen. Never. Only things like people I've never examined, me knowing their entire brain, only those things happen. Thank you for having me, Fancy. As you can tell, I do a lot of the psychology reports for your cousin Nancy. And I can say, in my professional opinion, he is a psycho that would bring a vacuum cleaner, a dustpan, probably some Windex, a shower curtain, a shovel, and a smelting machine so he can melt his knife. It's all completely reasonable because I have determined he is a multiple personality, schizophrenic, psychoendosis, kazam, bibbidi bobbidi boo, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious maniac. Thanks. Okay, yes. I'll go back to Nancy's show. Okay, well, if you need me in the... No. Oh, all right. Have a nice day, Fancy. Goodbye. I'm in my happy place. Dear Lord, sweet Jesus, please help me to understand all the things that are going on in this case of Brian Kohberger in Idaho. I don't understand all the secrecy and how people think it's okay to break rules and lie and be untrustworthy and secretive against their own people. I mean, everyone deserves to be innocent until proven guilty. So I'm going to try really hard, Lord. I just wish you could give me some courage and some encouraging words here. I'm in my happy place. Kitties, kitties, kitties. Kitty, kitty. I love you. I love kitties. Woosah. I'm trying to love the people. I'm trying, Lord.
Hello again, Fancy. It's good to see you. I know you're doing wonderfully with your program and fighting crime. Keep up the good work and try to have some faith. I'm going to be keeping my eye on Idaho and make sure they're doing things right by Brian Kohberger. Remember, children, vengeance is mine, not yours, Idaho. FBI? We'll be talking soon. God bless, Fancy. Take care, dear.